Welcome to part 2 of LightKit getting started. The first video we covered the installation of MPLAB and HI-TechC C. Also we covered the Pickit programmer and where to buy that and what to buy. And in this video we're going to cover picks that I'm currently using on the LightKit. We're going to cover breadboards, prototype boards, and general components, and just kind of some ideas on where to pick this stuff up. And in following videos we'll cover building a 12F683 test board, writing our first 12F683 C program, and then we'll save our compile C program to a 12F683 on our newly built test board.
Like I was saying before, talking about like a little electric motors and controlling things like this from a PIC, a programmable IC, is pretty easy to do. Also doing things like servos, a PIC programmable IC looks like this. This is an older chip, and actually I went ahead and got some of these because I felt like that with the amount of information that was out on the web for these, that it might be beneficial. I've actually found that this 16F683 is it's a nice chip. I mean, it's definitely programmable, but it doesn't have the programming memory that I want. And so what I did is actually started with this, and then changed out to a 690, which is like this, and picks come in all shapes and forms. These are smaller ones because all I'm dealing with are just lights for model buildings. 12F683s, which is this is a pretty good general usage pick. It's small. It you know, you can build a circuit around this pretty small to fit in really tight places. It's got like 6 outputs. The way I set these up, I set them up with inputs and outputs, so I might have a couple of inputs and then have 4 outputs on it. So it's a really good universal pick. So, but if you're going to follow the LightKit and the things that I have to go over, what I'd recommend is try and follow in my footsteps here. Pick up the things that I'm getting, because I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to help you with setting up anything other than these picks. The programming's different on some. If you use a different compiler, it's different programming. So for me to really be able to assist you, if you need assistance, then you'll need to be able to follow in the same footsteps. And what I'm going to recommend right now is that you pick up the 12F683. Let me see if I can. And this is sold by Microchip, and I believe these are the ones that I get off of eBay. But it's a 12F683 or a 16F690. And you might just pick up like a couple of each, and you see me handling these like this, and as you see different people talk about these, they say, oh, don't touch them, static electricity and stuff. I have yet to blow one. That doesn't mean though that you won't, but you know, you might pick up like 2 690s and pick up you know, a couple of 12F683s. So that's that. And you know, you can experiment. You know, I mean, once you get your boards built, you get your Pickit working, you get your programming working, then maybe you'll want to go and try a bigger pick. After I get through showing you some of this stuff, you'll be able to get in there and mess around with any picks that you want. So, but I have a variety of different picks that I play with, and they have different functions. So these are picks. For what I do, these picks do just fine.
Alright, so let's get out here and figure out where to get these things. My first suggestion would be to definitely get out on the web and search. You can find these things priced so differently from place to place, depending on quantities and things like that. So But the first place, you'll want to visit is Microchip. Maybe check and see, what the best prices they have going are, and you just go to this link right here, and it brings you to this page, which gives you a complete listing of all of the 12F683s that they sell. And if you'll notice on the end of these, it has like a little designation of what type of chip it is. They all run a little bit different. You can see the temperatures and things like this. Now the ones that I'm currently using, which seem to work just fine, are the IPs, which is here. And this is the one that I buy right here. Is a 12F683 IP, and so you can kind of gather what the price is. If you get 1 to 25, they're about $1.18 a piece through Microchip. Now I buy mine just straight off of eBay, which works fine for me, and you kind of get a listing here and see all the different Microchip chips that are out there. So you just find the best one. The guy that I buy from is this man. I'm assuming it's a gentleman, and he has a page here that's he also has a online store. So, but this is usually what I do right here, and this, as you can see, it's 5 pieces for $5.83, which isn't too bad, and the shipping is free. So you can take a look in here. This is, again, it's eBay, and if you're looking for the 690s, he also has the same type of thing. You can get in here and you can do a search for Pick series ICs, and this will show you like the listing that he has for the Pick series, several different ones. But I found his 690 ad here. It's the same. I just did a search on eBay for the Pick's 16F690, and found that Cole 520 has the 690s as well. And just a quick note here, take a look at the data sheets. These are documents that specify everything about particular picks. This one here is on the 690. It shows different things about the pick, including the pins, what they are, and what they do. And you also have one of these for 683. Any one of these picks that you buy will have a data sheet, and it's pretty good information. You might get out and read through some of these data sheets before you buy any picks. Like I say, just really gives you a good overview of the pick. And moving on to breadboards, I use a variety of breadboards, and I like to keep my projects rolling as I work on them. And then jumper wires. The breadboards I use 2 separate ones here. The little smaller, I think they're 400 contact, and the large ones are 830. And I use a bigger one sometimes. I don't use this one so much because the projects I work on are fairly small, individual projects. I use these jumper wires here that come pre-bundled. Saves me having to make them. You can make jumper wires just like 26 gauge wire, solid core. This is so much easier though, purchasing them with the breadboards. And then also I want to just kind of maybe take a look at prototype boards as well. Once you get a circuit built, you'll want to put it somewhere, and this is a great place to do it right here on these proto boards. They come different for different ways. Also, take a look at the breadboard video that's on this channel. I'll also give you some more insight on breadboards if you need it. Breadboards you can buy at just about any electronics store, Radio Shack or Fry's or something like that. Again, I buy mine from eBay, and I'm able to find just about any type of breadboards I need out here. And so what I'm showing you here is just kind of a showing These types of breadboards here, this 830 point is what I use. You can find these in bundles, and again, these vary in price from place to place. The 830 point solderless breadboard, similar to this, is what I use. And if you look here, here's a 400 contact with jumper wires, which this is what I like to buy right here. And I use the heck out of the jumper wires. So and again, you know, these larger ones, you know, they may or may not be for you. You can definitely separate your projects on one board if you want. Keeps everything together. So that's something that you could decide. I think the biggest thing with breadboards is the cost. You know, I really do dig. I really try to find, you know, like if they have 5 of one kind and give me a real good deal on that, I'll try and do that. But there's a bunch of different types of breadboards out here. Again, you could try electronic stores. You can actually find these things used sometimes on Craigslist and stuff like that, but be wary of used breadboards, because the contacts do get used, and the more you use them, the more the contacts tend to wear out. And then I also have like some of these male to female connectors, and you know, just so that I can have everything at hand whenever I'm working on stuff. But yeah, just you know, try eBay or Fry's, or I generally don't pay more than a couple of bucks for the 400 contacts, and maybe $4 for the 830 points. You can buy all small ones. Again, you can buy all small ones and connect those together. They work kind of like building blocks. So, but that's where you get your breadboards. And then for prototyping boards, same thing for me. eBay. Again, check at Radio Shack or Fry's or any one of these places. You may or may not find a better deal there. And you can touch them and feel them there, which I really miss being able to do that, because buying things like this, you really kind of want to see what you're buying. But like this little pack right here, it's like $10, but they're really good quality type proto boards. They're double-sided. You solder on both sides, which really helps the contacts, and they're pretty good smaller size, and if you have to, you can cut them in half. And I use different ones for different things, but this one here is one that I usually buy. And some of these other ones, you know, you just kind of look through and find the best deal for you. Let's see, like this 5x7. These aren't bad, because, you know, again, you can cut them up, do what you need to do with them. But these are going to be single-sided, I believe. You know, and there's a huge variety of these. I have some of these as well. These 5x7s. And you can see the price difference if you get them single-sided versus double-sided, but I hate fiddling with putting these things together whenever I finally finish a prototype on a breadboard and ready to move it over. I don't want to spend a week trying to get it put onto a prototype board. So yeah, again, man, there's a whole bunch of different types of these, and you know, as you use them, you just kind of get it figured out. You figure out which ones you like to use, and the price that you want to pay for them. And for parts, this is so open. So many different ways to acquire parts. I actually strip a lot of parts off of old boards and things, but you may want to buy them this way, and I can tell you that I've found that it's actually easier to do this if you just make the investment. But resistors, I mean, you just want some type of a resistor pack, a bundle, you know, that has several different resistors in it. You'll want a 1/4 watt resistors. I'll sometimes buy the 1/2 watt resistors because the leads are a little bit bigger. But you'll want a variety of these, and maybe want to pick up an extra, I don't know, 100 pack or something. I say 100 because when you buy 100, they're pretty cheap. Of the 470 ohm. Because that's the ones you generally use for LEDs, but you'll want to have a good variety pack of resistors. Something I wish I would have figured out whenever I first got into this was something like this, which this is an awesome thing right here. You know, kind of combining everything we've just talked about into one little kit here. You can pick up something like this. This may save you quite a bit of money doing it this way. If you just get this starter set, then you're in great shape to get started. So take a look at the starter set. If you don't want to do the starter set this way, then you know, buy it individually. But this is really a good deal. And you'll need LEDs. This set comes with what is it, 9 LEDs, which I don't think is really very much. So I usually get the 3mm. I do get some 5mm, but this is kind of what you're looking at. Some of these guys will sell like 100 LEDs, and you just tell them, hey, I want all one color. I can tell you for the most part, I don't use a whole lot of anything other than white and yellow for illuminating buildings and things like that. But if you want to mess around with some flashing lights and railroad crossings and automobile intersections and stuff, you'll want to get some red and green, of course. But you have to find a use for the blue, except just tinkering around with different things. So and then capacitors. Again, you'll want to pick up some capacitors, ceramic capacitors and electrolytic capacitors. So, and I believe this little starter set comes with quite a few of them. So far as capacitors go, though, and I believe they have all of them in here. I use a few different ceramic capacitors, which they have in here, and also I use a 22 microfarad, 10 microfarad, and 100 microfarad electrolytic capacitors. So aside from that, and you know, picking up some voltage regulators, might want to mention that 7805 and a 7806 voltage regulators. But just try and shop around for you know, a starter electronics kit, something like this. There's several different types out on the web, and I would think that Radio Shack or Fry's would sell something like that. This is kind of a neat deal here, this huge electronics lot. Now, see, I don't necessarily buy stuff like this for myself, but you know, not knowing how deep, you know, you get into, you get a hold of a lot of stuff you don't need. But you know, you can strip it off old boards or just pick it up, you know, like this. But if you watch my other videos, you get a very specific list of things that you need if you want to buy it piecemeal or whatever. That's entirely up to you. I know, though, if I can tell you anything about this, shop around, because you will find the same products from one place to the next at different prices, and by the end of the day, when you get through with this, you want to save some money. So, you know, shop around and look, because you can spend some money on this stuff. But this first hurdle, just getting started in it, once you get past this, it's a breeze. It's you know, 50 cents here, 25 cents there for different things. So once you get this far, the bulk of the spending is over, and all of the savings that you'll get are things that you're going to design yourself as opposed to buying. So that's going to conclude this video.